Oh my goodness, we were missing this yesterday, but this stadium just erupted with the T1 cheers. Everyone
over there is on vision though, as Doran.
Oh dear, Doran goes into the circle. Shock Blast goes wide though, as now Doran looking to try and put on the pressure. Let's see, the snips are coming in and there's a pause.
Oh no,
ZEUS, he couldn't face it. He couldn't face being solo killed by Doran, or something has gone catastrophically.
Well, ZEUS still has flash, right? So
I feel like 9 out of 10 people say no.
Oh, there's the flash.
There it is, yeah.
Oh, I say that. Owner is looking for a potential steal here.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they thought he backed because he was on the ward.
Well, he can see Peanut, but he couldn't see the health bar. As we can see there, as Peanut, gets a suspicion of it. And Owner comes in. Let's see who's going to be able to take this, and it's Owner just stealing it away.
Even with the shock blast from ZEUS.
A lot of value out of that one. Gold incredibly even, as we can see, is now Zeka moving forward. Peanut's here though. He's even got cease and desist. It's going to be used by Faker as he hijacks it away. And there it is, returned in kind. And Zeka will finally claim the first blood. They're really close. That is only first blood gold really in it between these two teams. So nothing really to worry about.
I think the Cyclone has to be game-changing if this is going to be a fight they can win down these critical items.
That was so many Wukongs that Peanut just had to watch. The army of monkeys heading towards the Vi as, all right, cease and desist comes out. Peanut just starting this fight as he flashes away. Pop Blossom to stop any sort of follow-up as now Peanut is just alone in the enemy jungle. Bullet time comes through. It does get a bit of damage down, but it's not going to kill anyone. And now Faker, with that Spirit Rush available, looking to try and close in on the rest of HLE. What was that, Peanut?
Item spikes be damned. If you go in alone, 1v3 into the enemy jungle, having just 2 spike advantage doesn't really matter.
Well, now ZEUS is fighting against Doran. They, I was going to say trade ultimates, which I guess is kind of true, but Jace doesn't really have one. Yeah. And Peanut once again back to that dangerous location. It did give him some trouble before, as Oldia Gumiushi could be in trouble, as once again cease and desist comes down. He does have flash, so he's going to use it. Bullet time coming on in as the Cyclone there from Owner defending his AD carry. The flash not quite working, but now Doran throwing some needlework towards Peanut, who wants to get himself away and does Vault Breaker out. Charm will connect as now Doran could be in a bit of trouble, fighting off his ex-teammate, but no one going to die outside of Viper, who fell unfortunately in the aftermath.
Building the lead, getting the objective control.
Yep, money for nothing. As, okay, Delight looking for another Shattering Strike. Gumiushi on a ward. They did know that he was walking over there as the Make It Rain coming on down once again. Taking a bit of damage as the Rift Herald is on the minds of HLE. Gumiushi level 11 now as Shock Blast does so much damage. And look at this, they're just in the blender. This time Delight making something happen as Doran gets into the backside. Owner has found Peanut once again. And now the bullet time's gonna need to save them. Gwen is immune, ladies and gentlemen. That's allowing Doran to survive. But the Rift Herald's still up and T1 are gonna take even more this game.
Now we will have time to be in position, at least threaten the steal. And there could be an opportunity, but we need to see a more synced up Hanwha live if they want to win this, as there comes Doran in again.
Yeah, teleport's coming through from everyone. Zeka going to make his way over. Let's see whether this soul point can be denied. Hex Gates coming on in as Zeka finding so much damage. There's the steal. It's ZEUS that takes it down, and the Pop Blossom doesn't do nearly enough.
They're in the pit.
They do lose 2. They have 3 left, still alive. Shattering Strike not doing too much as Doran and Goom are able to take down the Rel. And now it's even footing. Faker trying to find it. The dash cannon getting him into this fight is now Viper in trouble. The Taste land! And they try and keep him alive, but it does not work. ZEUS trying to push them away. And him and Zek, I don't think it's going to be enough. T1 win the fight, but they don't take the Drake.
But T1 outplay them. The moment here where you see finally Delight gets the engage he's been looking for all game. The follow-up from Zeka, the bullet time is there, and the shock blast. That's the wombo combo you're looking for, but look at this. They get a little bit split in the outset, and then T1 are able to punish.
But this is where you think you can just exit from the play, but they want more. Delight, 5 levels down, by the way. The burst from Guma and Doran just catches him completely off guard, kind of continuing his struggle. And then here, Viper, I don't think needed to flash the initial needles that came through.
Oh god, the chain's gonna have to be flashed here by ZEUS as Faker doing so much work, and Owner is there with the follow-up. Hands the golden assist, and they're gonna look for a top lane out of turret.
It's your stuff. The cleanse isn't gonna be enough, and the flashes are gonna be enough. You need your team to be there. You need your team, you need the setup, and you need to be the team that's getting the first kill.
Well, they're gonna look for it here as Delight going to be able to use that blast cone, but he's down incredibly low and will get taken down. Possible overextension though, as the Orbit Deception does a lot of work, as Faker dashing around the battlefield with his hijacked Spirit Rush. Now Pop Blossom is going to find only one, but it's ZEUS. That is a great target as now Zeka looking for the jump. The bullet time doing massive damage, but Doran now looking to get on top of Viper, who is completely alone and will get eviscerated. The wallet's so heavy here for T1, and they just take HLE out of the fight.
Viper couldn't have gotten any more value than he did in that one, but there wasn't any fault. They were so split, and so Doran just runs at Viper, the misfortunate immobile, and now Zeka clashing with Faker.
Yeah, Chain's not going to connect here as Delight will come in, but so will Carrier. Magnus Storm picked up by Faker here, taking a fair bit of damage, but they've taken the soul point. They've gotten exactly what they want. And Faker is able to keep himself alive.
Having a bad game, he's 0-3-2, but that's because he's MF, and that's because his team is behind into this insane engage composition here from T1 with melees that can just rip you to shreds.
Yeah. Speaking of being ripped to shreds, Peanut gonna try and get over the wall, but the flash is there for Owner, and he just knocks down the Vi. There is nowhere that Peanut is safe in this game.
And T1 were ready to say, we're gonna trade Vi for Kalista, but the way they did it and the setup they got feels so powerful. And this Vi that has just not been allowed to be played in any of our road to MSI. It is just our most banned champion here in the LCK. Peanut has a 0-5-2 performance on it, and T1, they're very happy with the risk they took.
Viper doesn't have his flash available.
There is also no jungler. So let's see whether HLE can try and kill T1 before they take this Baron. It looks like it's going to be impossible. Under 4,000 health as Delight goes in, finds the Magnus Storm. Let's see whether they can get the kills with the Pop Blossom. Doesn't do too much. They take down the Gwen, but this is still Baron picked up for T1. They go for the fight and they're looking to try and turn it. Kamiushi takes down Zeka. They've dealt with this Rel at the same time, and T1 say we'll just take everything.
Well, there you go. That's probably the game-winning play. They already had such a massive lead. We didn't expect Hunter was going to be able to win that fight as Carrier potentially punished here. We're getting trolled by the observers. Owner going to check it out.
Oh, dear. No, I think it might be Peanut getting punished here just a little bit. Slowed down by the Rend. Nimbus Strike going to be coming up pretty soon here. And Faker comes on over. He's just going to escort Owner in and escort HLE out of this first game.
And we can talk about the drafts. But for me, it's just the form of Hanwha Life. They look desynced. They don't really seem like they were ready for the high-tempo playstyle that, again, T1 has been playing towards this exact type of skirmishy, brawly style for a while. Now this fight, we kind of knew it was a done deal from the beginning. This is just a Hail Mary attempt from Hanwha.
Yeah, I mean, ZEUS is looking for Shock Blast angle and some time. Faker doesn't let him have it. Carrier's ultimate does practically nothing, but it doesn't matter because the fight is just so split because T1 have full control over this area. Peanut wasn't alive. He wasn't there. And right afterwards, he tries to punish, and he dies, and now he's not alive here for what is going to finally be Hextech Soul here for T1. And this game could not be more over.
It could not. So that is going to be the soul picked up here for T1. They're going to be able to push in this bottom lane. They've already taken the mid lane inhibitor. And ZEUS, he's looking for a bit of bounty gold. And I assume T1 are okay with him taking it because it's not going to save his Nexus.
We had 2 T1 predictors, and on our global side, we had several 3-0 Hanwha predictors. Hanwha Life came in as the massive favorites, but T1 having the momentum carried them from yesterday into this first game for sure. I think a lot of people are rethinking expectations after this one.
Yeah, me included, feeling a little bit silly for some of my opening statements here because it did feel like HLE were the better team before, based on our assessment. But momentum is so powerful, and T1 in this stadium, man, just feels like they are unlocked an extra level. And Faker now picking up a Magnus Storm for himself. That is going to be 2 inhibitors. This is, of course, feeling like a little bit of ceremony because this game is all but over. That is going to be a bit of an engage on Doran, but he does go into the mist and now looks to fight 4 people. Going golden here. Those big old scissors doing some work. There is the Magnus Storm finally. The bullet time coming in, but the wallets are so big. The pop loss are massive as well, and T1 just slaughter them in their own house, and they'll destroy it at the same time. T1 1-0 in the series.
From the perspective of Hanwha Life, you got reverse swept, and you end the game that I think you should have been happy with when it comes to draft with a clean ace.